Hello, this is part 2 of my Resistance Order tier list. In the previous part, I ranked all of the Reaper Order. Now I will be ranking all of the Skirmisher Order, and I will finish with the Templars Order in the third part. Before I start, my criteria for this tier list is going to assume you are playing on Legend Ironman. The orders will be sorted out from left to right, best to worst within the tier. The first Skirmisher Order of today we will be talking about is a Bomb Squad. Experimental Grenade and Heavy Weapon Project are completed instantly in the Proving Ground. Bomb Squad is very similar to Munition Expert, but for Heavy Weapon. This one difference make Bomb Squad better because the valuable powered heavy weapon are only obtained in the late game, so it doesn't suffer from the problem Munition Experts have of getting it after having built all of your experimental ammunition. But while being able to get your Shredstorm Cannon or Blaster Launcher a bit earlier is of course nice, it's by no means game changer, so I think it can go in a B tier. Decoy and Deception. All knowledge gained by the Chosen is reduced by 33%. When it comes down to Chosen knowledge, there's two types of player I would say. First are those who delay killing the Chosen for as long as possible. Second are those who rush to get access to the Chosen stronghold to kill them permanently as soon as possible. If you delay them forever, then Decoy and Deception can be nice to delay for longer the Avenger defense mission. But if you rush them, then you should be killing the Chosen before they even get a chance to assault the Avenger. And one last thing to note is that this order makes Chosen knowledge extraction weaker, so if your strat against the Chosen is to let them constantly extract knowledge on your soldier, then this will help you. With that being said though, I don't think this is a particularly good order, so I will put it in the C tier. I think there is much better when it comes down to Skirmisher Order. Double Agent. On every mission there is a chance that an advent unit will join the XCOM squad. What I said about Volunteer Army applies here, except that this can give you different type of advent unit. The selection of unit you can be given is either Troopers, Officers, Stun Lancer, and Shield Bearer. The best of those I would say is the Shield Bearer actually. Because of the shield they can provide, giving them a utility XCOM cannot normally use. With that being said though, I still think that much like Volunteer Army, this is a shit order, so I'll give it the same ranking. You can go in the D tier. Impact Modeling. The speed of all armor research is increased by 15%. Everything I said about ballistic modeling applies here, but for those who haven't watched the Reaper Order video, if you manage to obtain it early, you can benefit from it on more research. The problem though with this order is that more often than not you get it in the late game when most if not all of your armor research are done, so its effect is completely useless. On average will result in about 3 to 4 days of research time cut. Impact Modeling is power creep by another order I will talk about later on. One redeeming quality of Impact Modeling is that it doesn't require any specific building for its effect to apply. For those reasons, I don't think highly of it, and it can go in the C tier. Information War. The tech defense of all enemy and hack target is lowered by 20. Information War suffer from hacking being a underpowered playstyle for the specialists, and Spark are terrible at obtaining hack reward. If you ask me, putting an order to boost an underwhelming playstyle for one class is a bad option. Information War is a C tier order that can only shine if you have a super buff hacker with 200 plus hacking score. So yeah, I definitely don't like this order. Inside Job. All intel rewards are increased by 10% and 15% respectively. Intel as a resource is more valuable than supply because it is harder to come by, mainly because you don't get intel on a monthly basis, and supply rate don't give you intel. Intel is important because it allows you to contact region and buy strong item in the black market such as alloy, Illyrium, PCS's, superior attachment, scientist, and engineer. The problem of Inside Job though is that from a numerical standpoint it is weak. If a reward would give you 80 intel, Inside Job would only give you an extra 8 for the first level, 15 for the second level, and 20 extra if you equip both. With that being said, Inside Job number 1 can go in the C tier. I would put it, yeah, basically better than these three. And Inside Job 2 though can go in the B tier. I think if you get a number 2, it definitely will give you a nice little amount of extra intel. Inside Knowledge. The effect of all weapon modification is increased. Okay, I won't sugarcoat it, you go straight in the S tier, you're just so good. S tier for inside knowledge, but why? I guess I should explain it. What inside knowledge does is make heavy attachment on a gun one tier higher basically. Imagine you have a mag cannon with a scope and a advanced extended mag. Well, that scope now gives the same amount of stats as an advanced scope, and the advanced extended mag the same ammo as a superior extended mag. It even works on a superior attachment, making them a pseudo tier 4. So a superior scope with inside knowledge would give you plus 20 aim. That is massive. There is a bug though with inside knowledge. It doesn't impact laser sight and stock. Fortunately though, there are mod that fixes that. So yeah, I think it's very clear why this is a S tier order. Integrated warfare. All PCS effects are increased. Integrated warfare behave much like inside knowledge, so if you have an advanced conditioning PCS, it will give you the same stat as a superior conditioning PCS. Unlike inside knowledge though, I think integrated warfare goes in the A tier, and here is why. The reason being that of all the PCS, only perception and speed are excellent. Conditioning is decent, but for alpha striking purposes, does nothing. Reason being that of all the PCS, only perception and speed are excellent. Conditioning is decent, but for alpha striking purposes is useless. Agility is dog shit, and focus is simply useless. And getting a good amount of perception and speed PCS takes a while, so if you equip this order early, you will most likely buff one soldier maximum. So yeah, it definitely has less of an impact overall, so that's why it goes in the A tier. Modular construction. Facility construction speed is increased by 25%. This only affects the speed of building construction, not excavation speed. As I explained in the Reaper video, with heavy equipment, excavation take more days than facility construction. Combine that with modular construction only giving a 25% boost, unlike heavy equipment 50%. You will benefit much more from this order if you get it early, and it can be one of your starting order if you decide to start with the Skirmisher for your campaign. I've put heavy equipment in A tier, and because I do think this is a notch weaker, it will go in the B tier. Private channel. All mission timer are increased by 2 turns. Private channel is the Skirmisher equivalent to the Reaper Infiltrate. 2 extra turns might not seem like a lot, but it does make a huge difference. In many cases, it very much can be the difference between completing or failing a mission objective, whereas Infiltrate have variability due to how it works, as well as not working on every mission type. Private channel is a much more consistent turn increase order. Private channel, unlike Infiltrate, does work on neutralized field commander and landed UFO mission, making it better for those mission type. Infiltrate ended up in S tier for being an amazing order, and so is Private channel, so it can go in the S tier as well. Quid Pro Quo. All black market costs are reduced by 33%. This order value strictly depend on how much you like to buy item in the black market. If you barely buy anything, this won't do much, but I personally love to buy alloy lyrium attachment PCS from the black market. This order makes a big difference in saving your intel and allow you to truly empty the black market every month. The prime example of Quid Pro Quo value is if you desire to buy an engineer or a scientist. On average, the price to buy them is around 100 intel. Thanks to Quid Pro Quo, you will buy them for only about 66-ish intel, making buying engineer scientists quite viable without tanking your intel. I would go as far as say that Quid Pro Quo is the most underrated skirmisher order, and for how great it is, fully deserve a spot in the A tier. I would actually even put it above integrated warfare. Sabotage. Remove 1 block of avatar progress at the end of each month. If you are struggling with keeping the avatar project under control, this order will remedy that problem. To understand Sabotage power, let me remind you how you can lose a campaign in XCOM. The 2 main ways to lose is to fail an Avenger defense mission or to let the avatar project max out and fail to cancel the Doom timer. Sabotage. Remove a block of progress. Sabotage. Remove a block of progress every supply drop, or in other words 20 days. This is enough to almost single-handedly handle the avatar project by itself, which remove one of the loose condition of the game. So even if you hypothetically were struggling on the tactical layer to the point you are failing mission left and right, this order would give you a breather, allowing you to catch up. To close up on Sabotage, I do think it is literally the best order in the game, thanks to its ability to practically remove one of the lose condition, so it can sit safely in S tier. Tactical Analysis: enemy unit lose an action on their turn if discovered on the XCOM turn. Removing an action to enemy means they usually will just sit still and shoot if they can see your unit. Some unit change behavior, such as Stun Lancer, opting to shoot instead of melee, making them significantly less dangerous. Particularly good if you have soldier with movement ability like Templar with momentum or ranger with implacable. If they are the one triggering the pot and they are the only one visible to the enemy, then they can move away to hide. Because of this, Tactical Analysis is an order that is more valuable the more aggressive you play. So if you play very passively or defensively, then this might not be super valuable of an order. I love my shotgunner, and on rare occasion will make some braid fart move and trigger pods on accident, so I am a Tactical Analysis enjoyer. So yeah, you can go in S tier. Under the table, the black market pays an extra 30 or 30% for premium goods. The irony with Under the Table is that it have higher numerical value than all of the other resource order. In reality, it gives an extremely minor amount of extra supply for premium goods that this order is never worth equipping. To make matters worse, you don't even get to choose what the black market will flag as premium, so you have more RNG to deal with. So yeah, basically it's a terrible order, so yeah, both of them just go in the D tier. Next, Vulture. Enemy drops additional loot item. This is a great order if you are a loot goblin who love to get those loot drop, because it means more core, more attachment, more PCS. Vulture is significantly better if you get it early because you get to benefit from it from much longer time frame. The only problem with Vulture is that loot drop are still RNG based, so even if you get it as your starting order and equip it for a whole run, you might never get highly valuable drops like superior attachment or PCS. With that being said, Vulture is definitely A tier worthy, so I will put it right here. Weak point. Any shredding attack from XCOM does an additional +1 shred to the target. In most cases, I find weak point overkill amount of shredding, but there are a few cases it makes an impactful difference. In the early game, when you are still on tier 1 cannon and start seeing mechs, having weak point double your shred against them, removing all of their armor in one hit. And in the late game, it makes plasma grade shred 3 armor, which is helpful against many late game enemy who use cover and have high armor, such as Elite Shield Bearer, Elite Purifier, Andromedon Chosen. It doesn't have always an impact, but sometimes it does. So you can go in the B tier and go right here. All of the Skirmisher order are finally ranked, and I have combined both of the Reaper and Skirmisher lists together for a more overall ranking, which you can see right here. Now the only faction that I have left to rank their order are the Templar, and I would stay tuned for that because I'm gonna have some surprising hot take, but I'll leave that for the final video. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys later.